Hey, what's up, guys? This video is about meeting new women. It's so important to figure out what kind of woman you're dealing with. With that being said, keep your dick in your pants, because it's so many situations where I met women, slept with them right away, and found out that, their cousin, their friend, their next door neighbor was my ideal type. Not saying the woman I was with was my ideal type, but sometimes, you'll meet women who don't really give you a hard time. They just make it the easiest possible for you. So now that I look back at all that, I realized they did that for a reason. The reason why they let me sleep with them right away was because they knew at some point, if I were to keep hanging out with them, I would meet, they friends, they family members, and they knew that I would meet at some point in time throughout all the other women in their life. I will actually meet one of them, and I will actually have a connection, a natural connection. So they're doing that so they can stamp you and say, oh, we slept together, so they can tell their, their friends and they family, other, female relatives, like, don't touch him. He's mine. We already slept together. And they quick to do that. They'll literally send a mass text as soon as you get through bending over. They'll send a mass text to all the women in a circle to let you know that, like, hands off type of situation, right? So I've been through that so many times, man, to where now it's like, if you meet a woman and she moving fast and stuff like that, just keep her at bay. Now I know, she may look good, this and that. Of course, that's obviously if she looking the part, you ain't gonna question yourself. You go ahead and just whatever. Compared to a fat ugly chick or whatever, you'll be like, nah. But a pretty girl, you be like, oh yeah, and not realizing that it's a more prettier girl after her. You know what I mean? And she's single and she ain't got no kids. You over here dealing with her. She got she got 2 kids. One of them she don't know about. You know what I mean? She dealing with a lot. But since she look good, you know how it is. The looks made you go ahead and just go through with it. And you just be like, okay, well, whatever. I ain't too much tripping on that. And then you come to find out, you dealing with, you find a cousin. She got a whole career and credit score 9,000. You know what I mean? Like, she ain't got no tattoos, none of that. She natural. She just living life the right way. She just can't find a guy. And you come across her, y'all hit it off, and then next thing you know, she gonna lace her real good, like, oh, now we dating this and that, even though y'all not dating, but y'all slept together, so that gives her, that gives her the ammunition she needs to keep all the other women at bay with you. So the things to look out for is, like, it's so important when you meet these women. If she seem nice, this and that, it's like, don't focus on trying to sleep with her right away. Like, get to know her, bro. Like, go out, hang out with her. I mean, call it dates. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, if whatever happens, she can never tell her friends or family members that y'all actually slept together. Now, she may lie, but somebody question that, because it will come up. You can go ahead and correct it. Like, nah, we just hang out every now and then, and, that's it. Don't be around her 24/7, because in her mind, she's going to use that as a relationship. Women like that use any kind of information, any kind of evidence, and apply that towards a relationship. Now, you could, like, she really likes you. She probably really don't like. She just want to lock you down because she don't want you at your full potential. So it's called checkpoints. You'll run through that in life. You'll run through checkpoints. You ran through. I'm pretty sure you ran through plenty already, and you will continue to run through checkpoints throughout your life. That's just how life is, right? Like, don't avoid it. Just don't run away from it. Just get through it. That's the way you can figure it out. You got to solve problems. Throughout life, you always got to solve problems, man. So never run away from problems. Always go through, and then you know how to deal with them, and then you can just continue your journey in life. But you will always run through checkpoints. And a lot of women that you will run across that will be a checkpoint. Not necessarily someone you should be with, but it'll be a checkpoint. So in my situation, I had many. I give with this lady, she okay, she cool, whatever like that. We hooking up, this and that, hanging out. And then lo and behold, I get invited to a party or an event or something like that. I'm meeting all these other, I'm like, wait, there's beautiful women over here. All of them single. None of them got kids. They just living life, trying to get them a good man. So you hitting it off with all of them, this and that, and then, real quick they start chatting with each other. It's just, you can't get away with it. You can't avoid it. They're gonna start chatting with each other. You're gonna be in the room. You're gonna hear them talk about you. We just gotta just play it cool and then just keep enjoying your day. And then she gonna find out real, because when you go there, they're hesitant, right? They're bringing you. They'll bring you to show you off to their face. you know, it's like a circus act, right? You know, you the main event. They'll bring you to show you off to their friends and relatives, especially if they're single. So they'll use you, like, oh, look at me, you ain't got no man. This is the man you want, but I got him. So they'll use that, you know, to their advantage. And granted, the chick that you got, you ain't the only one you want to be the last. She had plenty of dudes she slept with. And that's why they'll look at you funny and not really look at her any kind of way because they already used to her being that way because she a hoe. But you not knowing that, well, you probably do know that, but you like, whatever, you just living life. And then when you meet her friends and family members, and you're like, damn, this the chick I've been looking for all my life. She gonna try her best to shut that down. She gonna tell them, oh, we slept together, I'm pregnant. They gonna tell her whatever they can to run them away. Now, it's guy code, girl code, you know, to where you don't sleep with your ex, your friends, ex, or whatever. Even though quite a bit of them still do that, both men and women, you know, they do that. But honestly, it's like, if you guys are meant to be together, it should just go that route. Now, this is the part where it gets kind of, I call it cut and dry, but for the, you know, overall, like, if you guys are hitting it off, you can make a great couple. Does it really matter that you dated, you know, her ex-friend or ex-homeboy? Now, that comes down to the individual. But me personally, I don't just hang on to my, you know, to the ex-women I dealt with. Like, life goes on. Now, that would be kind of weird because, you know, you guys are, if you still are cool out there, you still hanging out, and you guys, you know, you still around each other. After that happened, you guys made the switch. But it's just life, right? It's life. Like, should it hold any value based off of if you're a stranger or not? I don't know. But this is the thing, too. This is where I'm looking at it like this. You know, judge me how you want to, but if you hanging out with a chick and you know you ain't gonna be with her like that, you just kicking it with her, that's it, getting your rocks off every now and then you eventually get tired of it, but you're not planning a future with her whatsoever. Does it matter if your homeboys start dating her and then, or whatever? Like, that's how I look at it. Now, some people be like, oh, no, you can't do that, it's crossing the line. But to be honest with you, a lot of people are crossing the line. A lot of people are crossing the line. So I'm looking at it like, well, you wasn't nothing serious. Let me go ahead and talk to your cousin. You know what I mean? Because she's serious. You're like, I'm not going to marry you. I'm not looking, you're not my type to marry anyway. You just, you know, that something on the weekend or whatever. So that's just what that is. But it's so important for you guys not to do that. And on top of that, if you know you're not feeling a girl like that, don't be around her like that. You can, like, if anything, she call you or text you, you can do that, but don't be going out on random. If you know, it's dates, because that's what they're gonna call it. You know how they gonna call it whatever they want to when it benefits them. You think it's a date, she think, oh, we just hanging out. You think you hanging out, she gonna call it a date. It's just what it is. This is how they act. So again, if a woman is into you, you really not with her, but he's like, I kind of hang out with her every now and then, don't sleep with her, bro, because if you're not feeling like that, don't sleep with her, no matter if she want to come over and all this stuff like that. She really trying her best to, you know, to get with you, to be with you. Don't do that, bro. Don't hang out with her every day, because she gonna use that as evidence. Oh yeah, we dating or whatever. I'll be sleeping over his house and coming over his house. Don't even invite her to your place, bro, because she gonna use all the information. She gonna use all that stuff she's been doing, whether it's big or small, and she gonna you know, she gonna tell it to her friends and her other family members that you guys are doing this, going out. If y'all go out in groups. That's the best thing to do. I noticed that too when I used to go out a lot. I see people go out in groups. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. They going out in groups, but me not really paying attention. I'm seeing it, but I'm not really paying attention to it. But now I know why they're doing that, because they're trying to build this comfortable environment to where they can be themselves. While they're doing that, they're vetting each other, whether they admit that or not, but all of them are doing that. They just don't say it out loud. All of them are doing that. So when you see groups of people and they're all like friends or whatever, you know, they're not family members, they're just friends going out. Whether they're friends or not, but you know, like this groups of just people going out. That's what they're doing. They're all hanging out collectively, and while they're hanging out, they're spending time together, they're getting to know each other because they're all comfortable. You know, normally they're themselves. They're in a relaxed state. They're vetting each other. They're vetting each other while they're in these groups. I used to see that a lot. So that's the best way to go about it. So if you go out in a group, you know what I mean? Go out, bring two other people, bring another person. That way she can't say, oh, we went out on a date. It's like, no, me and Chris, we all went to Slitterbonds or whatever. You know, we just, that way when you hear the whole story, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay. So the women won't run away from you, when you give them the story. But if you letting her come over by herself and don't let her spend the night. If you're going out on these little dates, because that's what she gonna call it, to the zoo and stuff like that, just with you and her, you can't do that. If you know you're not feeling her like that, man, like don't do all that stuff with her. And then, like I said, last thing, don't sleep with her, because if you sleep with her, that's a wrap. They're gonna do everything in their power to destroy, your image. Cause I've been there before with the one of the last chicks I was messing with, the ugly chick. You know what I mean? That took care of herself. The one that was, like the masculine one I was telling you about. She did that. Like every time she started inviting me somewhere, at the beginning, everything's cool. I was meeting her friends, this and that, and then they started to pay attention to how I was moving. Like, okay, they not together. You know what I mean? He over here at the other side of the table, she over here. So they started figuring it out, even though she tried to make it seem like we was in a relationship and we wasn't. And then they started talking. They started talking among themselves. They went to a little pajama party type of event. And all the women was there, all the single women was there. They were just hooting and hollering about it. And then they just started getting drinks in them. And then, they true feelings started to come out. She didn't like that, you know what I mean? Because I was being chose. And that's just what it is. So now I told her, like, at the end of that whole ordeal, like, leading up to me just, like going out, let's leave her alone. I told her, you over here inviting me to these places, and you over here portraying this fake-ass relationship with your friends, knowing damn well we not in a relationship. Like, bro, we only talk like what every now and then. Like, nigga, I ain't over there hanging out with you every day. So that's what it was. But she was so desperate to do that. And like I say, she got a whole bunch of guys she didn't ran through or whatever like that. But her friends is actually single, like genuine good women. They looking for a guy like that. You know what I mean? Like a straightforward guy that they want to build with, their ideal guy. But she was in the middle. She was blocking all that. You know what I mean? She was blocking all that. So you got to be very, very cautious with women like this. A lot of women, they want to get you know you. They moving real fast. That's because they don't want you. They're a checkpoint. They don't want you to see your true potential. They know, and women know what caliber, what level they are on that list with their friends and they relatives. They know where they at. You know what I mean? But they're not gonna tell you that. They're gonna make it seem like they the hot shit. But when you get around the actual women, that's high caliber. Okay, this is where I'm supposed to be at. You know what I mean? It's like you lost in the forest, and then you finally find your way out. Like, oh, this is it. This is my sanctuary. It's the same way. You lost in the forest. You find these random women in there, and they leading you astray. Instead, you just take your time and still get through the forest, and then you finding your way out. You go on the right path. You know what I mean? They take you the wrong way. You find your right path, and everything comes together. So that's what she was doing. She's not the only one. There's many other women I dealt with like that, like just hanging out with them, just, bending them over. So anyway, at that point, she would start to, because, shit started to hit the fan, right? She started to hit the fan, so she tried to throw dirt on my name, stuff like that, and try to, keep me away from my friends that were interested in me. Like I said, I wasn't going over there and say, oh, give me your number, this and that. They was actually pursuing me because some women know. They was raised right. Their mama trained them right. They know what to look for in a guy. Now, her, you know what I mean? She come not even a dime a dozen. She come a dime every 2 dimes or whatever. So she don't care about that. She going through all this stuff in her life. She not worried about quality. She just going through the motions. That's what hoes do. They just go through the motions. They not looking for something sustainable. They just going through the motion. They been hoeing all their life. That's all they know. They run through a whole bunch of good guys, and they don't even care because they already messed up. So when you meet a woman like that, she's always, hey, let's go. Like, chill out. Like, if anything, you guys go out, invite people with you, go as a group, whether it's your sister, your little brother, bring somebody else with you. And on top of that, don't hang out with her all the time. And your time to really make that decision is, because at some point you're going to go to an event, she's going to have something going on, she's going to want you to go. That's when your time to figure out what's going on. So you go to the event, not with her. She gonna ask you, oh, come pick me up. Nah, I gotta go do this right quick. I'll meet you there. Just send me the address. Do that, because they're gonna use that. Like, a lot of guys miss that part. Like, oh, we just roll together. They're gonna think, oh, y'all together. Nah. When that day comes, she gonna invite you somewhere and say, oh, pick me up, this and that over there. Like, no, I gotta go do this. I'll meet you up there. Just send me the information. I'll meet you up there later. Never go with her. It's that serious to where you can't be around her like that at all. Like, you gotta separate yourself from her. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. So when you go to these events, you start mingling and talking like that, they're gonna ask you about, oh, you such like, yeah, I mean, she seemed like a nice lady. Like, you gotta talk like you don't know her, man. You don't be messing with her like that. You gotta talk to her like as a stranger. You gotta describe her as a stranger. So when they ask you about it, oh, yeah, she cool. Like, me and such went out to the ball game last Saturday or whatever like that. But yeah, she seemed like a nice person. That's how you gotta talk, because the women because she gonna lie to them girls and make it seem like y'all in a relationship. That's why it's so important for you to carry yourself, in a way that where they know that y'all not together. No matter what she tell them, but she not, at the end of the day, it's just a whole bunch of lies, because none of that stuff happened. You're not giving her any evidence to prove that, to back that up. So again, when you go to these events, women gonna start talking. They're gonna hear about you. You're gonna start, mingling with them, and then from there you just play it cool, and then that's it, man. And then they'll figure out, especially in those situations, the women that really like looking for a man, like for real, they'll come to you. You will see it on their face, the excitement, the curiosity. They'll come over, make their way over to you, and then say a couple little words or whatever, just trying to pick at you and see just to test the temperature. So that's going to help you a lot. Then from there, you leave. Don't leave with her, of course. Don't leave with her and just say, hey, I had a good time. Leave early, if anything. Leave early. So stay there for a good enough time to where, quite a bit of them saw you. They probably, some of them, probably one or two of them got to interact with you. Not all of them just flock to you, but you had a couple of them come to you and, introduce themselves to you. That way they can spread the word. They're going to spread the word. It's going to spread like a wildfire. So when that happens, chill for a little bit, like an hour and a half, maybe two, and say, okay, I got to go. And then, one of them ladies who introduce themselves to you, go over there and let them know, say, hey, Michelle, it was nice meeting you. Hope I see you again. And then you go ahead and get about it. You just, hey, all right, I see, and then tell old girl, like, hey, I'm out of here type of deal. But don't, like, just like your homeboy or something like that. Hey, thanks for inviting me. I had a good time. I'll see y'all later or something. And that's it. You leave early. That way they know, like, they seeing how you move. Okay, well, she not hugged up with him. He not over there really talking to her. He just chilling. That type of vibe, they're going to pick it up real quick. So when they come back, women talk. When they come back later on, and they'll be like, okay, well, hey, they're going to talk about it. And she going to tell you, she going to be mad about it. And she going to tell you, like, whenever y'all, whatever, communicate again or meet up again or whatever, she going to bring that up. So after that ordeal, they're going to come back. They're going to start chit-chatting about you. And they'll be like, oh, one y'all dating. They're going to ask them. They on the hunt, too. They on the hunt, too. So they're going to ask, like, oh, I thought y'all was in relationships. Like, they ain't really see y'all, hanging out or talking to them like that. And she gonna say some little whack stuff or whatever like that. And then at some point, when y'all come back around, she gonna bring it up. Oh, such and such asked about you. Instead of them just like not saying nothing about it, they just so mad they not thinking clearly. Women, they don't think logically. They think they go off their emotions. They gonna tell you about the women or the woman that was asking about you. And then from there, you like, okay, write that down. And then you already know, hopefully she's your type or whatever. But if, she seemed like your type, whatever, go ahead and write that down. And then next time y'all, you don't come back around again. It could be somebody's birthday, somebody getting married, somebody got some kind of event going on or whatever. It's something going to happen. You know what I mean? So y'all going to come back again full circle. And then from there, you can kind of pick at her, and then you go from there, y'all can just build off of that. And the thing about it is when she see those women or that woman is really trying to pursue you, she going to try to throw a monkey wrench in the system. She going to, guess what? She probably been inviting you every weekend. She had somewhere she wanted you to go with her. She always had something going on. This how you know something's going down. When she just stops inviting you anywhere. That's when you know something's going down. When she just stops inviting you to go anywhere. So from there, all thing you can do is just like network. Like when you're in that situation where, you got these women or this woman or whatever who seem like she's interested in you. It don't take nothing, man. Like, oh, okay, well, ask her name and stuff like that, because she gonna lie to you. She gonna do a lot of stuff to like keep you away from that, from you being happy. So when that happens, like, so important for you to be like, okay, well, what's your name? Like, I always ask for their name or whatever like that, man. That way, if anything, you can find her online or something like that. And then if you hang around enough, get on social media or whatever. You ain't gotta ask for a number. You ain't gotta make it seem like you just trying to get at her and make everybody know that or whatever. But it's just little stuff you can do, like get on social media or something like that, or offer your stuff. Like, oh, here's my social media, like, we should all like get together one day. Like little stuff like that, you gotta throw it in there, like make it a group event, even though it's not, but that's how you gotta disguise it. That way you can protect your prey. You know what I mean? I don't want to say prey, but you know what I'm saying? You can protect your potential partner. You know, your lady. They may be your lady in the future, but when you do that, it's a strategy to it because you don't want to make it obvious because that's when people start to try to mess the game up. You know what I mean? So don't make it obvious like, okay, she like me, I like her, even though she liking you gonna be obvious, but you can't do the same thing, especially when you're in a territory like that with so many things that can go wrong. Because a lot of times women, they're very vicious in so many ways. They're not gonna line you up on good intentions. They're gonna line you up some random ass chick who you ain't got nothing in common with. This is what it is because they don't want to see you truly happy. So when you're in that situation, she really like you, kind of feeling her, say, okay, what's your name? Just to get her name, and okay, well, here's my social media. We should all get together one day. You probably gotta do it at the same time, but it's very delicate because you catch her that second time around, and you still see the same kind of vibes, you still feeling the same kind of vibes. That's when you make that initial, like, okay, well, what's your name? Well, we should get it the first time you meet her, but what's your name? This and that, and like get the other ladies' names as well or whatever. And then like try to get, in contact with, like, here's my social media, what's your social media, like that type of stuff. We should all get together. I got this going on or whatever, like, make up some random ass story to where it seemed like a group activity. But if for the most part, women know what's up, so they'll peep in, they'll be like, okay, they'll go along with it, knowing damn well, like, they ain't worried about, it ain't gonna be no group event. You just trying to get with her without, having all this outside distraction going on. So that's pretty much what it is. And it comes down to, like I said, the lady I was hanging out with, I wasn't with her all the time like that, but she made it seem like we're getting married and we're gonna have all this stuff going on. I'm like, when I'm meeting these women, they'll say certain things like, you gotta be quick to pick it up. It's like, nah, we ain't together. Who told you that? So they gonna ask you at the end of the day, no matter what she say, if you come around enough, they gonna ask you. They gonna be like, hey, this going on, just checking. Or if they gonna say like certain things, you gotta pick up real quick and you gotta respond because 9 times out of 10 they be lying to you because they trying to keep them other women away that ideally you would actually date. Especially if you hang out with too much, they gonna find out. She gonna find out what kind of women you used to or what you can get. Women know what your caliber is, whether you can see it or not. That's why it's so important to have self-esteem and stuff like that. Have a backbone. But yeah, so with that being said, guys, like when you meet these women, if you're not really feeling them, if you just like, she cool, whatever. If you're on that kind of vibe, don't sleep with them because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna have a good-looking cousin who can cook, tap dance, all kind of stuff for you. You know what I mean? So if you with a woman that you really don't want to be with, don't sleep with her right away, man. Like just hang out with her and then just kind of see what's going on because at some point in time you're gonna run across a good, a ideal lady in her circle that you actually want to be with. Whether you probably thinking about, I don't want no family, I ain't trying to get married, this and that. You run across the right woman, you're going to change your mind. I promise you on that. So anyway, guys, if you got any stories, leave them in the comment section down below. Go ahead and subscribe, man. Leave a like, to help the page. And till next time, I'm out.